Hey guys, what's going on? Anthony here, and I got some Grand Theft Auto 4 gameplay for you guys. I almost said Call of Duty. I'm so used to posting Call of Duty and Battlefield, and I'm sure you guys are used to getting that from me. But what I wanted to talk about was my hopes for Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, for those of you who don't know, Grand Theft Auto 5 was announced a couple weeks ago, and this got me really excited because when I saw the trailer, which there will be a link in the description, don't worry about that. But when I saw the trailer, man, I got nostalgia like crazy because I saw that it was in San Andreas again. And it's twice as cool for me as anybody else, not only because San Andreas was my favorite in the series, but I live next to the region that they made this in. I live in California, so it was really cool for me because I'm like, this is badass. Like, you know, because I've never been to New York, so it was cool for the last one to be in Liberty City because I'd never been to New York. But the fact that it's going to be in the Los Angeles area, it's going to be in the San Francisco area, that's cool for me because I have been to those places and I live near those places. So that's cool. But above anything else, I wanted to talk about my hopes, my wish list, if you want to call it that, for Grand Theft Auto 5, because I feel that this game has potential to be one of the greatest games of all time. Because Grand Theft Auto is one of my favorite series of all time, and it still is. You know, it is such an amazing game. It is so much fun. It gives you the ability to do what you want to do and be what you want to be, and that's one of my favorite parts about it. But they went away from some of their roots in the last game. Granted, they brought us some new features that were really amazing and very welcome, but at the same time, some things were lacking. They didn't have the random elements that they had in the last game. They didn't have the jets and the crazy flamethrowers and miniguns, and you couldn't beat people over the head with a dildo or be a gimp or any of that crazy shit. You couldn't do that. You couldn't customize your car. You couldn't make your guy buff or fat or give him a heart attack or anything like that. And they really were lacking on that random element. Now, granted, yes, the jets may have been a little inappropriate because of the setting of the game, New York. But then again, when has Grand Theft Auto ever shied away from the fact that they are what they are? They're inappropriate. They're not morally correct. That's what Grand Theft Auto is. And so, with that being said, I'm like, how are you going to leave that out of the game? Like, give it to us, because you know we're going to want it. You know it's going to be something that we're going to have fun with. And that's what was missing from the game. Now, not to say that the game wasn't fun. Not to say the game wasn't fun at all, because I had so much fun with Grand Theft Auto 4 that I could go on and on for the stories that I have about it. But there were some things that I'm hoping that they really work on for the next game. And the first thing that really jumps out at me is the multiplayer. The multiplayer in this game is fun when you can get it to work, but it's really lag ridden. It takes forever to get an invite. If you send an invite to a friend, you better, you know, go get a drink or something like that, because you're going to be waiting for a while for them to get it. When we used to play online, a lot of the times, you know, because me and my friends used to play it a lot, not so much anymore, unfortunately, but we used to have to send invites after invite after invite, and we'd send almost 50 invites, and then you'd get one of the invites and you'd get in the game. But once you got in the game, you'd be getting invites for hours and hours after that, and it was just random because you're playing the game, your friend's right next to you, and I'd be sitting there driving in the car with Rio, and I'd get an invite, and I'm like, oh, I just got an invite. He's like, oh, who's it from? And I'd look, and I'm like, it's from you. And we would start laughing. I mean, yeah, it was one of those funny things, but at the same time, it was frustrating. And again, like the lag, they need to fix that. They need to really improve the way that the game plays online. They need to improve the multiplayer, and I really have faith in them because Red Dead Redemption seemed to have better multiplayer, and it seemed to run smoother with that, so I'm hoping that they run with that and improve on that even more. The other things that I'm hoping that they bring back is, I've already talked about the randomness. I've already talked about the random weapons and random, you know, cars and vehicles and all that good stuff. I've already talked about character customization, because I hope all of that is back in the game, because it is back in San Andreas. And you know, that whole the whole parody on society, talking about how body image is so important and social standing and all that stuff. That was funny. That was a big joke. That was hilarious in the last game, that you could change your appearance. And that was a way for them to poke fun at the Hollywood lifestyle. And I loved that. I loved that. Seriously, it was one of the most clever things that I had ever seen in a video game. And I'm betting some of you didn't even think of it that way. Yeah, tell you the truth, I just thought of it that way right now. So I was off the top of the head. Hope you guys enjoyed that little bit. But anyway, I'm just hoping that they bring back some of that random craziness. Is all I'm hoping for. That, improve the online functionality, improve the multiplayer, improve it, please. And lastly, this is a long shot, but this is what I'm hoping for. This is my wish list, so I can do what the hell I want. I'm hoping that they bring back some sort of co-op. Give me some sort of co-op, but hear me out. Not some regular online co-op. I'm talking about co-op where the story, or not the story, I'm talking about co-op where you don't necessarily need missions, but like the map and the world and the city that you're in is just like it is in single player. So you can go into stores and you can buy stuff. You can go into armories and buy stuff. You can do all that stuff, customize your character when you're online with your friend. You can use cheat codes in the co-op mode. That would be cool as hell, because think about it. What did you do in San Andreas? Because I know what I did. When I had a friend over, we would go into 2-player and we would activate all the cheat codes that we wanted to activate, and we'd raise hell all over the city. It was just fun. And speaking of raising hell, I hope they bring back something like the C4. And I mean, there's a bunch of weapons. I can go on for days. But if I get my C4 and my flamethrower, I'll be a happy camper. I seriously will. I'll be pretty content with those 2 weapons. But I'm just hoping that they bring back some of that. I'm hoping that the game has that randomness, and I'm hoping that it's just crazy. I'm hoping it's Grand Theft Auto again, because we all know the graphics are going to be great. We all know the physics are going to be great. The engine's going to be on an even more improved engine than they had for Red Dead Redemption. So that thing's going to look absolutely bananas, but I'm just hoping they bring back some of the randomness, improve the multiplayer, and above anything else, because we already know the cover system has been improved again, maybe they can work on that some more, work on the aiming a little more, because I personally would like to get into deathmatch and team deathmatch with this next Grand Theft Auto. I wasn't able to get into it because of the lag in Grand Theft Auto 4, but I mean, anything's possible. And I hope this game's great. I'm really excited for it, guys, but until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.